poke on IU, which is why we're seeing both of these supports roam a bit. We've obviously seen Jojo roam a bit more than Labrov at the moment, but I think Labrov might be trying to play patient, protect Syndra while they're getting this up. Caps, though, making a play.
Does go looking. Scumon's around, has got that ability to call up the hounds if required. Tattoo and Jojo in, though! Hook, shot, and sinker!
That's it. FURIA showed up. They brought more men. They got there quicker, and they take out Caps. Solid. First blood over to FURIA. They'll net themselves that bounty gold as well off the first blood. So they find themselves 1,000 gold up over G2. However, the rest of the lanes, it's kind of normal at the moment. We've got most of these summoners down.
Hang on. Jojo went looking. Oh, that got spicy. The hook shot that time a little wide. Can't make it 2 for 2 there, but still got a little nervous. You can keep going now, Logan.
It was a great Zenith blade from Labrov. I'll give him that as well. Level 4, so had that level advantage. So a little bit tanky. As we go into this replay, Caps is doing everything he can to get away. But look at Toots. He's got very little damage, so had to call in the reinforcements.
Whoa!
Oh!
Labrov's gone! IU picks it up. We come out of the replay into violence of FURIA here. Find themselves 1,300 gold to the goods.
You could almost say violence and fury.
Very good. All right, yeah, very nice. All right,
like furious fury.
We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
That's it. But another kill for FURIA. They are firmly on the board, 2-0. But critically, that first strike of the game is still up. So this is going to be a slower game. We're not going to be rushing to 4 dragons and get that soul. The grubs are up as well, so in 5 seconds. So jungle objectives, not a high priority.
No, it's not really been about the objectives so far. I mean, part of it, of course, has been a lot of these players wanting to get towards that level 6, towards those ultimate abilities. But as it stands, FURIA with that Camille found themselves those 2 kills. They're the team with the Lee Sin to go with that important support. They're about to find Labrov again, who's in a potentially tricky spot. Gets the clip down, hit by that deadly flourish. Hands coming on over, can look for a scout of the week as Scumon goes in. The hounds pursuit the call of the pack, and they're calling up an ambulance. It's just not for them. They'll head towards the grubs.
Labrov goes in, and we're thinking, oh, Labrov, but he tanked it so beautifully. He gets hit. Oh.
Scumon gets another one of those R buttons, goes on to Guigo. In comes the hero's entrance to Toots. Unfortunately, the villain in this equation, as the curtains are called, and unfortunately no one's there to bow.
The heroic, and he like teased FURIA. He's like, I'm going in because I know G2's here, but do you want to come into me? Baits them in and then just gets out with the flash. I had to commit it to survive there, otherwise would have gone over to FURIA. I like the play. Could have been a little less over-committed. Oh, broken blade.
Good chunk there onto Guigo. Now back down into the hyper. Guigo probably going to need to look to reset here. Does have the teleport. Public execution goes wide. Oh. The hero arrives. Caps gets the taunt. And Ambessa goes dancing around, but that's a Drake out step into a 6-foot hole. An early grave for Guigo.
Well played by BB. I thought he was just going for the turret plates to get some gold, but he was baiting Guigo in, and the critical sidestep that changed that fight. If Guigo had been able to hit that, that would have been BB going down, and it would have been Caps alone under the tower in the face of Guigo. So important.
If that had gone another way, we might be having a different conversation. As it stands, though, G2 now find themselves up 1,600 gold. They found themselves a lot of those role quest completions as well. FURIA lagging behind a little in that, and the early moves that we were seeing with that Camille have just sort of fallen away a little bit. And I am looking at a composition here from FURIA that wants this mid-game to be strong. You're there with the Akali. You're there with that very heavy playmaking jungle support. You are, however, very melee, very squishy, and very burst heavy. If you start having this happen to you, I get a touch nervous.
Nerves of steel these players have. Nervous is not a word in their vocabulary. It is confidence. It is all in as another fight brewing. Jojo kicks it off.
It is. There's a shield from Jojo with the adaptive defenses. Labrov still only level 5. The level 6s are beginning to come on through as the catch-up experience begins to do a little work there. Jojo has got that one, as we noted. Back to the river we go. Herald a minute and a half away. So at this point, really what we're playing for is priority in the river, control in the river, and a replay to come on up to see exactly what happened on this top lane dive.
Yeah, so BB and Guigo were just trading as normal. BB trying to get this wave pushed in because he knows Caps is nearby. But back to live, we're fighting again.
Oh boy, I got caught drinking there for a second. My water comes on in as G2 murder the Camille, but it's traded back well enough. The TP's flying. Scumon in danger, flashes away. Guigo with the shield and the repudiate. Shut down. Jin finds himself a curtain call to remember.
Skumon did a really good job there of delaying.
Hell, even your jungle and support are melee, so your ability to get to those turrets is somewhat limited here, unless you manage to get the fight that gives you just numbers advantage to walk at turrets.
Things coming down around this Drake. They're going to contest for this one. Labrov just getting that vision down.
Okay. Damage is there. The Hextech ultimatum. The Solar Flare into a load of ults. Oh my days, the Syndra just presses R and it got Caps with the TP, the shield, and Durand locks them all in space. Power is unleashed, and G2 find themselves a couple to the goods.
Labrov is starting these fights and he's taking so much damage, but it buys G2 the time to collapse and take FURIA to the cleaners. It was a clean fight from G2 there, taking 2 of FURIA and buying themselves that priority to get that second Drake of the game, and their stacking is on and they're 2k up.
And Labrov's now just picked up a Protoplasm Harness as well. The ability to pick a Leona through the Eclipse, through the Aftershock. Eclipse the ability, not the item, just to clarify, they are two things. League of Legends and words that are used in multiple places.
We know what we're talking about.
Exactly. Just to clarify, guys. The big shield that Leona puts up, alongside that Protoplasm Harness. Killing this Leona off first, I think, might be an exercise in madness.
And almost an exercise in futility as well. Labrov, yes, 0, 2, and 5, but Labrov has lived more than he's died in these fights. As we go back to this Drake fight as it starts out here, Han Sama is in that mid lane and rotates down through the top side, but Jojo starts it on Labrov. Labrov eats 2. 3. He eats almost all 4 of the shots of Ryu. Where is Jin's damage going? Not into who matters. And that buys the time for G2 to collapse and take FURIA out.
And as usual in this game, we come out of the replay into more action. 6-4 in the kills, but it feels like there's definitely been a bit of a fracas at any given moment. Touch now coming up towards this top lane, where of course Caps has managed to get that level advantage. A couple of kills to the good here. He's got the Hollow Radiance. There's another stun into the wall and a nasty chunk onto Guigo there, who may need to start backing away as the Hyper Procs begin to mount. That Boomerang just a touch short there. Turret number 1 falls for G2, and that gold lead begins to balloon to a notable margin.
Yeah, the first turret going down at 18:36 is fairly slow by today's standards, but I just want to point out as well, Labrov is a level up and a completed item up as well over Jojo.
He is. He's in a really good spot there. Got a little nervous with Skumon hanging around at that blue buff, just hopping over with the Eviscerate, but just some trading. I think the team more manageable. Broken Blade hasn't left. The public execution is a very public whiff, and Broken Blade breaks the ankles of Guigo.
He's doing it all game long. It's almost impossible for Guigo to hit an ult on the BB. This man is a natural-born ballerina. The moves he has, the slides he has got. This is the MSI Broken Blade, and he is here to win it.
A ballerina, you say, well, that suddenly gives a new meaning to on point, doesn't it?
So much damage, and it prevents it from going on to Han Sama. He protects the AP carry of G2 so well. This bot
Baron.
lane, they are synergized, and with the priority off of that fight, they're able to turn it into that Baron because there is no jungler alive for FURIA. They cannot smite this. They have to give this one over. They don't even have vision. G2, free Baron.
It's going to be a relatively slow Baron, as there is no AD carry in a Syndra as your damage deal. Of course, Skumon on the Nefiri, perhaps a little bit more able to offer that Baron DPS, and it will go down easy as you like. They'll pick that one up. Jojo goes looking for Labrov, but we've seen this one before, guys. Are we sure? Eclipse into Aftershock, and he only loses a third of his HP bar. He's still got a Protoplasm Harness to work with.
Labrov's like, I ain't recalling up for that. You need to do better because I am still ready to go. Caps has been everywhere, and we look at this, right? 8 kills over to G2. Skumon, he's been involved in 6 of them.
Caps has got to be a little careful here, actually. Gets hit by the public execution. Hero's entrance away, though, and he'll be right as rain.
He knew it. He played that one fantastically. The moment the knock-up was used, he's like, up, I'm out of here. Hero's exit, if you will. Is it very heroic if you're leaving the fight?
I feel like heroes learning to run away is an important part of the medium.
Strategic, what is a strategic return? Something like that.
Strategic retreat, that's the one.
As we do see, Skumon is on the 3rd Drake of the game. Again, we call it's slow Drakes, but this will get their stacking. It is an Infernal, and it will be an Infernal Soul, which means extra poke damage.
And what we did see from the likes of HLE, from the likes of BLG at first, and is you can give up some of those dragons if you can kind of do this. Play elsewhere, play for the structures, and maybe, just maybe, a kill or 2.
nasty with it. Labrov kicked that off with a Zenith Blade into the Q, into the Solar Flare, and nothing Jojo could do. But I was saying before, 9 kills. Labrov has been a part of 7 of them. Labrov is everywhere in this game, and he's just surviving. He hasn't died in over 10 minutes.
And again, another one of those players who got a little criticised or questions about him joining G2. He's been having a great old time over the last tournament or so and continues his MSI form with pretty strong showings here on this Leona.
Tuts was forced to hold out. Skumon's chasing.
Hang on, they're going to get a bit. Oh my god, he's dead! Well, the Dark and Daggers land and the Akali is dead for rights.
G2, they have a numbers advantage. They're sieging.
They can keep rolling.
Yeah, they've got the Baron buff. They've got 2 waves here with...
Oh, IU just flashed under his own turret. That's unfortunate. The nerves perhaps getting to him a little here. 3-0, but I think this might be a tricky old hold. The Nexus turret's under siege. G2, unrelenting, implacable.
Caps is keeping Guigo away. Has the ult to join the fight if he needs to as well.
Flash behind the curtain call, just wide. Can't wanted that one. Angelina Jolie will shake her head. They go in the hero's entrance. And G2 in the heart of Paris will win their first game at the Esports World Cup 2026.
G2 beat FURIA in the BO1 convincingly. It was close to start, but G2, the veterans, were able to chip away at FURIA and just snowball from there. You can hear the crowd so ecstatic that G2 took this one, but this is an upper bracket. FURIA, they go down to the lower bracket. They still have another chance here at EWC 2026.
Indeed. And again, we were wondering what we were going to see from G2 after what is a very tough schedule. MSI, just last week, you're flying back to Europe. There's been changes in the staff. What were we going to see from them? There were questions, and that game 1, the draft was fun. The Syndra bot, questions about, well, how has Hanshammer been about picking up these majors? And we were questioning it. The Syndra looked good. The Galio